Okay, so here's my 84 Devon Moonraker, and this is where I put the heater. It's basically right up against this wood panel, and that took some fairly precise drilling, that big old 3-inch hole saw. And back there, there's a little room. It's probably about an inch, but it's fine. And you know, this case does not get hot at all. I'm very impressed with that. But the floor under there is kind of corrugated, so that's kind of a potential problem. That's where the wires are going in. And here's how this looks on this Devon. Whoops. So this whole thing lifts up. Snap right here. And you got two different halves. Under there, that's where I'm running the wires, and maybe I'll put them on there, on that panel. Sorry, maybe I'll put the little LCD display, or I might not. I might just use this guy because it works real well. Anyway, on this side, this is a little propane holding side. And this is where I got the diesel tank. And this is why I did that kind of where the sort of siphon comes out the top so that I can take it out of there. And then we'll go around and look what it looks like underneath. Alright, so the point of this video was to measure this. So this distance from this flat right here to this wall is right about 16.5. And the length of this from here to the edge on this side, the edge of the case, which is probably about right there, was about 15.25. So there's about 1.5 inches clearance, which makes sense because there's about 1 inch of clearance there, about 1/4 inch clearance here. It was real close. So that was pretty tight. Again, I mean, this thing sucks in a lot of air on high. I'm not going to use it on high very often because this is such a small space. But even on high, it's no problem at all. But I am going to 3D print a little cap for that because it's real dusty in here. So when the thing is off, I want to cover it. Here is the diesel line. Comes out right next to the side of the frame. There, into the pump. And here's the underside of the heater itself. See how it's corrugated. Hopefully you can see that. I tried to be clever. I scoot under there. I tried to be clever and just cut holes where necessary instead of cutting the big hole. Who knows if that was really a good idea or not. That kind of sucks. All that kind of goopiness, it's not because of fuel or anything. That's just, I put a bunch of grease on there in hopes that it wouldn't rust. There's the exhaust. I'm going to probably screw the exhaust up there somewhere. That muffler, I mean. You can see that silver backing plate under there. It's normally about, it's normally a little wider than the body of the heater by maybe 1/2 inch on either side. So I cut it down a little. See it over there. Just to fit it in there a little more snugly. And turn on the remote. 20C. Pretty much low, casing 20C, 12.2. So, turn it on. And there it goes. And we'll see how it looks in a few minutes. Okay, so it's gone through its startup routine. Basically, it turns on the glow plug, goes up to high fan speed, then it slows back down, to where you want it. It says internal temperature 123 Celsius, of course, maybe at 20 C. So let's see what the old thermometer says. Oops. Shows casing temp at 80. Yeah, that bottom plate 73. Ooh, and that air is hot. Oh, buddy. See what it says. Right in the middle of that thing, 175, 65. That piece of black plastic. So yeah, feels good. Yeah, that's plenty. And that's on low basically. And it'll probably cool off some because that just came down from high, but yeah, it works real well. Doesn't take much. Can hear the pump probably. Click, click, click. Might be able to hear that. And crank it up. So it will speeds up the frequency of the fuel pump, automatically adjust the fan speed. Anyway, you can hear the fan revving up. I just listened to a recording, and it sounds way louder than it actually is. When it's on low, you can hear the pump pretty loudly. It just kind of sounds like somebody's tapping on the outside of your van. But the fan itself is a pretty nice quiet hum, and that's plenty of heat for a Vanagon. This is the 2 kilowatt, but it's in the same case as the 5 and the 8 kilowatt, and maybe I should have got the smaller plastic version, but you know, whatever. This one seemed like it had the best reviews. It's the one with the blue face and the red remote, and they probably all come out of the same factory, of course. I got it on eBay for $140, something like that, and it's great. This location's pretty dusty, so I 3D printed a cap. It's great.